Hello Arise family, friends and fans, and welcome back to Arise Online. And if you're joining us for the first time this evening, we welcome you. We're coming to you from the legendary Colorado Sound Studios to present an evening of concert quality music, high fidelity production, interviews, giveaways, dance, and live painting. Tonight's featured artist, Random Rap, has served as a vessel for messages within our hearts since 1998. More than just a DJ and producer, Rap has evolved into a whimsical wizard, creating songs of faith and devotion and inspiring generations of dreamers to go deeper. We're thrilled to welcome back Random Rap to Arise. Joining him on stage is co-creative and visionary couple Morgan Mandala and Randall Roberts. Known also for their work as individuals, the creative couple is known for their collaborative painting form, using it as a metaphor for the ever-flowing universe and the love and light that radiates through us all. Also taking the stage is contemporary dancer and creative flow and control extraordinaire, Alex Demasian of Block 1750. All right, let's get this show started. Arise Online.
between illusion, a space between illusion, a space between space between.
All right, you've been on the electronic music scene since, in one capacity or another, since 1999. But I'd love to hear a little bit more about the early days of rap, right? What was the musical journey like from you before electronica?
Well, originally it was just doing like trumpet in school, and I played that like through college and band, jazz band, that kind of thing. It was pretty fun, but it was more in it for the community around marching band and all that stuff. But when I really fell in love with making music, I was ended up joining a heavy metal band, rock band. So we did that for like 5 years. Darwin's Bucket was the name of our band.
Nice.
Just in Indiana, you know, and played like kind of like.
Let's see,
We
what's
started
the
doing
sound?
cover tunes like Van Halen, and then moved on to like stuff like Tool, and then started writing our own music, and it was just so fun and so great, and good experience, and also got me into kind of songwriting at that point. Played guitar and did like some folk music for a while and that kind of thing, but then when I bought my 4-track, little tape 4-track, that was when it was like I realized that's my instrument. That's like the thing that because I can play instruments, but I'm not really like a very like I wouldn't consider myself like an excellent musician, but I work well with technology and how to like I can play something like get the best something out of whatever instrument it is, and just enough to where I can produce with it and make other music and around it, and so that's kind of like evolved through that's how I kind of got to where I am now.
Okay, so fast forward to today. Has there any new impacts on your music? Any person, any musician that's put a fresh impact or influence in what you do today?
Yeah, it's interesting because as the time when I was younger, you know, I was like a fan, where it was kind of like my identity, right? You know, attached to like a band, and whether it be like Rage Against the Machine or Pearl Jam or. So like that was like who I was, and I thought about music way differently. And as I've started to be involved in the scene for years and just meet people and really connect with the actual artists, and I realized that like it's a lot of the best experiences with music comes from my friends, and especially if it's like if you know someone really well, then you're gonna love and their music really good. You're gonna love their music too, and it's like a piece of them. So like it's as the years go by, I find myself listening more and more to like the people I meet on the road, and so all the amazing artists in our scene, you know, that really just constantly inspire me and blow me away. It's like my favorite music. I feel pretty lucky to be able to really know those people too. So that's really what's been inspiring me. It's just like the community that we're in.
I wanted to ask about the song Lives to Live. Can you give us a little background about this song and how the melodies and grooves came to be?
So that one actually has a little bit of a backstory.
Yeah.
Many years ago at Lightning in a Bottle in California, this guy asked me if he could propose to his girlfriend during my set. And I was like, well, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to stop for whatever, and let's figure out if we're going to do it. He seemed really cool and he seemed really genuine. And I was like, well, are you a musician? And he's like, yeah, I play guitar. And I'm like, cool. Well, how about you play guitar with me? You come up on stage, and at the end of your shred, you can propose to her. And then it was beautiful and everybody was crying and it worked out awesome. And he's like, hey, I'm a luthier. His name's Buck Van Lerhoven, and he says, I want to make you a guitar. So flash forward many years later at Eclipse Festival in Oregon, he gave me this guitar.
Oh.
And this is the hand all made from the ground up. And he asked 5 different artists to contribute to, different elements of it. Like Leafy Green did the pick guard. This is the Pinecone Carl thing, and we have the Wide Sky guitars. We did the Ammonite inlay.
Wow.
And then I've got like my logo like laser engraved in it.
It's beautiful.
So, and then the case is custom made by a different artist. So this thing is just like and it's a work of art. And so but it's a player. It's like a real, it's an actual really good guitar that he made the case, and he's like, I want you to tour with it. It's a bulletproof case thing. So when I got that, I started working on Lives to Live and tried to I just wanted to come up with a really super solid riff that was just kind of catchy, just really capture the essence, the tone of this guitar, which is unlike any guitar I've ever played. Kind of sounds like it looks kind of thing. So that song was really centered around trying to capture the essence of this instrument.
Yeah.
And so all the layers are different guitar licks off this. So.
So how did y'all's artistic journey begin? And of course, I'm curious about how y'all met.
My artistic journey began when I was a child, and I couldn't stop drawing and creating art from really ever since I could hold a pencil, and just kept going with it my whole life until college. I kind of had to make the decision. I was going to college for veterinary medicine, and then just couldn't stop with the art still. It was the one thing I really loved, and I figured I would just make the switch and take a leap. Studied art and art history and philosophy in college, and that kind of really set the stage for the journey I'm still on and my path as a painter, and also got me into, I started live painting in college as well, so
nice.
With bands, and that kind of was the main stage setter, I guess.
And yeah, I also made art from as long as I could remember, and then I was pretty good at drawing. I was really interested in, you know, comics and Dungeons and Dragons and
nice.
Video game, you know, monster creation and that kind of thing. But that's a very competitive field, and I ended up dropping out of community college, and it kind of went on the back burner while I went to work at IBM for 8 years. I was there about 8 years from my whole 20s. And then I had kind of an awakening around 30, where I realized that life isn't a rehearsal. I think it was a Chili Peppers lyric at a stoplight one day. You know, this is more than just a read through.
Yep.
And I through some other stuff that happened to me around that time, I was like, if I'm going to do something, I better do it now. And I more or less marched into my office and got my 401k cashed out and drove to California to be an artist. And yeah, the rest is kind of history. That was about 17 years ago. And it took about that long now to live on it, but.
I had a really wise person once tell me that life is too short.
Yeah.
All right. But then they said, you know what? Life is also too long. It's too long to do the things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And to stay stuck in something. So I thought that was really powerful when I got to look at it from that different vantage point. So you'll be painting for us individually tonight. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to hear about your inspiration for each piece or how you got to those.
Well, I'm going to go for it with the aforementioned craziness. And Morgan brought a beautiful piece from home.
A piece I've been working on for on and off for a few years now that is inspired from a trip I took I brought a group of people to Peru in 2012 to visit with an ayahuasquero that I had seen before. And this in the painting is one of my best friends, Isa, from childhood. And she came with me, and she's just a really powerful, unique individual, I guess. And her ayahuasca journeys, I wish I could describe her with better words. She's amazing. We're so visual, visceral. She was completely out of her body, but also I felt like it's kind of a story of her, but also a story of kind of the divine feminine protector over this kind of journey through a psychedelic realm, or ayahuasca accompanying you and kind of just giving you strength through it. So that's kind of what the piece is about, and about her individual stories, my friend.
She's beautiful.
Thanks. She is.
She's a firecracker.
Oh, I love her. The best kind.
give me that.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it's really good actually. It's a hazy IPA.
What does that even mean?
It means they don't process it or filter it, which is why it looks a little hazy. But that's good, all the flavors in the haze.
I don't understand that at all.
They keep it tight up front so that all that haziness can flow through on the back end. You know, like business front, party back.
Yeah.
You got it.
No, I just like parties, man.
No.
Hazy Little Thing IPA. Complex beer, simplified for your pleasure.
All right, so beyond the producer and the creator, is there a spiritual side of rap or a spiritual element that you bring into your music?
I mean, I think it's pretty hard to define what that would even be, but if, you know, I like to think of it as science, art, and spirituality, or spirit, I guess. Are all the three things are equally, like, that's the trinity that music, any kind of art works with. So there's definitely science to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a technical aspect and
Mathematics.
yeah, and then there's the art, just the art of being creative. Like, how do you be creative? It's as a tool, you know. And then the spirit is sort of like this hidden underbelly that pokes its head out sometimes. And I wish there was a way to control it or understand it, but I really don't. So I just let it exist within it, and sometimes it comes out in unexpected ways, and you know, and it's beautiful. And so I know it's a part of it. How that works, it's kind of like it's kind of behind a wall that I can't quite see through. Yeah.
I think that sounds about right, though.
Yeah.
Right? All right, so what do you think festival cultures like Arise bring to the world?
I think it is joy. It brings joy, and that's so needed and so important. And it needs to be like I appreciated and taken more seriously by our society. Like, I think we live in a culture that, you know, I mean, obviously the people who go there don't feel this way.
Right.
But overall, like we were talking about earlier, like the noise complaint thing around venues, and a healthy society uses art and gatherings. That's a part of what it's the fabric of what holds the society together. And so things like are like important parts of keeping our culture alive and keeping community. And I mean, when I was there, gosh, I don't remember when it was, years ago, when I played there.
Yeah, it was
Sunrise
2016?
Ranch. I played Sunrise at Sunrise Ranch. It was just gorgeous, you know, and I had tears in my eyes. It was an amazing experience, you know. Everybody was so happy. Colorado's got such a great scene. So I think it brings a lot. And it's a shame it's not happening right now out there. This is the best we can do, but
we're hopeful.
Yeah.
You know, the day that we can gather again and all come together,
happen.
You know, I feel like we're very ripe for that, and everybody will just embrace, and that joy will come through.
The next one's going to be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
And I don't use that word lightly, but I believe that we, as festivals, and we all get to start to gather again. You know, I feel this personal craving and loss too, as someone,
Yeah, it's part of our DNA. Take that away.
Well, and you nailed it, right? Like, it really is part of our community and what weaves us together, right? You said it, science, art, spirit, the spirit, right? Even if you look at it from those three things, they all weave together. And so we all fit. But you take pieces of it apart and it breaks.
Yeah.
So, okay, so when you're not touring and going festival to festival, what is life like for you off the road?
Well, aside from like trying to produce music and all that, I mean, my beautiful fiance Michelle and I, have spent a lot of time learning how to cook and cook things, and we cook way too, like, I probably cook too much, but
it's good to cook well.
That's
though.
been a big passion of ours for sure. I have a 10-year-old son as well, so
Nice.
yeah, I do a lot of that kind of stuff with.
Does he like to play music too, or?
He's a performer
Okay.
of some kind. Not exactly sure what kind he's going to be yet, but he loves being in front of people.
Not scared to get up on the stage?
Working on developing the home life feeling. I have a Sprinter van that I've converted. And just kind of getting things all like together and getting ready. I'm just getting ready for the next thing. I feel like I've been getting ready for a long time, but I swear it's gonna all pay off.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your new album, The Space Between, released in March of last year. promising to add a new track every full moon.
Mhm.
I think that's amazing, and I'm really curious as to what inspired how you release each track.
When it first happened, I mean, I had a really crazy year of transitioning where I didn't have like a actual studio to work out of like I had for many years. So I had to kind of jump around to different studios that people would let me use or different spaces. And so I didn't have that time to really invest into an album the normal way I'd normally do it, which is just go, you know, just lock myself away for months or whatever. But I knew I would have time along the way. So originally my concept was, well, if I just start kind of putting out songs, it's gonna force me to get back in the studio, and all I have to do is, you know, make one song a month. And so that, and then we had some ideas, like times have changed, you know, like albums are not what they used to be. It's like people are listening to singles and the way the algorithms work and all that kind of stuff. And so I kind of wanted to experiment to see what it would feel like to do something like that. And then that was all pre-COVID.
Right.
So when COVID did finally hit, it actually was perfect because it gave me something to connect with people every month.
Right.
And something to look forward to, and a way to be kind of involved, because if you release an album and just you're done.
Right. No tour to back it up.
Yeah, and I wasn't touring, so it was all I really had to connect with people, and so it actually was perfect. And even the name, The Space Between, that was like something I thought of before COVID. And then when COVID hit, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like, that's exactly what we're doing right now. And so it all kind of worked out. Thanks so much for spending a little time with us. Thank you, Arise Online. Thank you, Colorado Sound. Thank you to all my fans, fam, and friends that might be tuning in. I love you all and hope to see you in the real world very soon. Much love.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. We're so grateful for everyone who tuned in tonight and especially grateful for your support of live music and our environment. Tonight's show is in partnership with our friends, Trees, Water, and People. So not only did you help support live music, but with every donation made, you helped plant a tree. So thank you, Arise family. We also want to give a shout out to our partners, Colorado Sound Studios, Photon 7, Westword, KVNF Community Radio, and Rocky Mountain Virtual. Their continued support of Arise Online made this evening possible. So thank you, everybody. Until next time, whether online or live, we can't wait to dance with you again. Good night.